Motivation disappears. That's why most people quit. But disciplined people, they keep going, even when they feel nothing. Motivation feels powerful in the beginning. It gives you energy. It makes you excited. It makes you believe you can change your life overnight. But there's one problem with motivation. It never stays. Some days you wake up feeling unstoppable. Other days you feel tired, distracted, empty. And the moment motivation disappears, most people stop. That's why most people never change their lives. Because they built their goals on emotions instead of discipline. And emotions are unstable. They change constantly. One bad day can destroy your momentum. One moment of doubt can make you quit. One distraction can pull you away from your goals. That is why motivation is unreliable. But discipline is different. Discipline does not care about your mood. It does not care if you feel tired. It does not care if you feel inspired. Discipline simply says, do it anyway. And that is why discipline will always take you further than motivation ever could. Because motivation starts the journey, but discipline finishes it. Look at your own life. How many times have you felt motivated to change? How many times have you promised yourself that this time would be different? You watched videos, you made plans, you felt inspired. And for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, you worked hard. Then slowly, the feeling disappeared. You got distracted. You got tired. You lost momentum. And suddenly, you were back in the same place again. That cycle destroys people. Not because they are weak, but because they depended on feelings. Feelings cannot build a powerful life. Systems do. Habits do. Discipline does. The people you admire are not successful because they always feel motivated. They are successful because they learned how to work without motivation. They trained themselves to act regardless of emotion. That is real power. Anyone can work hard when they feel excited. But can you work when you feel nothing? Can you stay consistent when nobody is watching? Can you continue when results are slow? That is what separates average people from dangerous people. Discipline is not glamorous. It is repetitive. It is boring. It is uncomfortable. And that is exactly why most people avoid it. People love the idea of success, but they hate the routine required to achieve it. Because success is built in repetition. Waking up early every day. Working consistently every day. Staying focused every day. Doing the hard things every day. Not once, not sometimes, every single day. And the truth is, discipline becomes most important on the days you don't feel like trying. Because those are the days that define you. Anyone can move forward when life feels easy. But when life becomes difficult, when your energy disappears, when your motivation fades, what do you do then? That answer defines your future. Weak people stop. Disciplined people continue. That's why discipline creates freedom. At first, discipline feels painful. You force yourself to focus. You force yourself to avoid distractions. You force yourself to stay consistent. But over time, that discipline creates strength. And strength creates freedom. Freedom from laziness, freedom from excuses, freedom from emotional weakness. You become someone who controls their actions instead of being controlled by feelings. And once you reach that point, your entire life changes. Because now you are dangerous. Now you are reliable. Now you can trust yourself. And that is something most people never experience. Most people break promises to themselves every day. I'll start tomorrow. I'll wake up early. I'll stay focused.
but then they don't do it. And every broken promise weakens self-respect. Slowly, they stop believing in themselves. Not because they are incapable, but because their actions no longer match their words. Discipline fixes that. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. Not fake confidence, real confidence. The kind built through action. Because confidence is not created by motivation speeches. It is created by evidence. Evidence that you can trust yourself. Evidence that you can stay consistent. Evidence that you can continue even when it's difficult. And the more evidence you build, the stronger your identity becomes. You stop seeing yourself as lazy. You stop seeing yourself as inconsistent. You become someone disciplined. And identity changes everything. Because once discipline becomes part of who you are, you no longer depend on feelings. You simply do what needs to be done. That is the level most people never reach. They spend their whole lives waiting to feel motivated. But disciplined people understand something important. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. You don't wait to feel ready. You start, and the feeling follows later. That is why successful people move faster than everyone else. They don't waste energy debating with themselves. They don't sit around waiting for perfect conditions. They act immediately. And those small actions build momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds consistency. Consistency builds success. Everything starts with discipline. Not talent, not luck, not motivation. Discipline. Because talent without discipline disappears. Motivation without discipline fades. Dreams without discipline die. But discipline keeps moving forward no matter what. That is why disciplined people achieve things that emotional people never will. They understand that success is not about intensity. It's about consistency. 1 hour every day beats one inspired weekend. Small daily effort beats occasional motivation. And over time, those small efforts create massive results. That's how transformation really happens. Quietly, slowly, through repetition, not through one big moment. That is why patience matters. Because discipline rewards people who continue. Most people quit too early. They want instant success, instant change, instant results. But real growth takes time. And disciplined people understand that. They trust the process even when results are invisible. Because they know something powerful is happening beneath the surface. They know every disciplined action is building strength. Mental strength, emotional strength, physical strength. And eventually, that strength becomes impossible to ignore. People suddenly call them successful, but they never see the years of consistency behind it. The early mornings, the sacrifices, the discipline nobody applauded. That is the hidden price of success. And most people are unwilling to pay it. But if you are willing, your life can completely change. Not overnight, but permanently. So stop depending on motivation. Stop waiting to feel ready. Build discipline instead. Because motivation is temporary. But discipline can carry you through every hard moment of your life. When motivation disappears, discipline remains. When emotions fade, discipline continues. When everyone else quits, discipline keeps moving forward. And in the end, discipline will take you places motivation never could. So ask yourself honestly, are you building your future on emotions or on discipline? Because your answer will decide everything.